And we're back. How are you doing? I'm Alek Dincoff, here with Steve Todd, creator of Open Sourced Workplace. How are you doing, Steve?
Doing well today, Alec. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's getting warmer. Spring is here. Ah,
70
just
degrees today in New York. I loved it. It was brilliant.
likewise. It's very rare that we're having the same temperatures after this winter, so it's good to hear we're
All,
both enjoying the day.
all I can say is I'm glad you didn't have your temperatures during the winter.
Oh,
Yeah.
for anyone who doesn't realize, I'm in the Midwest, and it was very, very, very cold. Things froze, everything shattered. It was not just here, but all around. So this is our segment where we really dive into what's new with you, what's new in the business realm, because you've got your hands in so many different pies throughout all sectors of business. I love it. You're so insightful. We got to pick your brain and also dive into your creation, your baby, open sourced workplace. So what's new? Is there anything that's off the top of your head that's really exciting that you want to share with us?
Yeah, so no, I appreciate it. And I love your enthusiasm. I love it. It makes me feel great every time I talk to you. So I love it. Thank you. Keep it up. Yeah, so the thing I really want to talk on today, I know I've been sort of keeping everyone updated on co-working and where it's been going. So we're almost at 5,300 co-working locations on Open Source Workplace, which is a phenomenal effort. And I keep it on, and I know I seem repetitive and seem to repeat myself. But a couple of things of really interesting things have happened over the last couple of weeks. I sort of wanted to give people an insight into, how can co-working providers use Open Source Workplace? And a couple little things have just happened. Again, I'm going to touch on. So I've had two providers, one who obviously were very in tune and saw what Open Source Workplace was creating, in the sense of, whenever we add a co-working provider location to the site, we pretty much take the information that they're providing on their own website and we create a link from Open Source Workplace through to their site, so that an individual can book a tour directly with the vendor, the provider themselves, and they're able to then capture the name, the address, and the relevant information that they want, so they can follow up and get leads. And what we're starting to find, and what I've found really interesting, is if you were to go into Google today and you were to type in WeWork and then the address 1619 Broadway, Open Source Workplace would come up third or fourth on the rank. The top two would be WeWork's advertising. Then the next one would be WeWork's actual location. And depending on the day and where you're searching from, Open Source Workplace, WeWork location for that address comes up either third or fourth. So why is that really interesting to a co-working provider? To have real estate on that first page of Google search, you have to pay for that. You have to work hard to get to there. And the difference that Open Source Workplace is offering to all these providers is we're linking directly through to their actual sites. So we're not really there trying and pull people away or try to take away their business. We're trying to help generate their business. We're trying to help build their business. And to that end, over the last couple of weeks, I saw something interesting happen. One is a co-worker, Merkspace, has co-working locations in Israel and Holland, actually signed up as a service provider themselves, and they added their own locations to the site. And that's the spirit that I want Open Source Workplace to be. So the individual sets themselves up with their own profile, they add their locations, they decide on the images that they put onto the site, and they decide on the narrative that they want to put onto the site as well. They have the ability then to manage and curate whatever the user experience they want to have. And what was really interesting is they add one or two and just sort of step back to see what would happen, and nothing happened. So a week later, they added the rest of their locations, and I shot them a note, and I shared on LinkedIn actually that this is what Merkspace had done, and I thought it was fantastic, and I loved it. There's another provider, Serendipity Labs, that I'm talking with, who are going through the process where I've added all their locations, and we've sat down and we've discussed, okay, so here's what's happening. They're going and they're looking in Google and they're saying, okay, you're actually on page 2 already. Now remember, I only started adding these co-working locations in the middle of February. We're in the first week of April. This is really fast, right? I didn't expect this to happen until, October of this year. The fact that it's happening so quickly, it causes real excitement for me. But obviously, whenever I talk to Serendipity Labs, they see the benefits of actually, well, what if we just give you a direct URL so that they're able to track everything that's coming from open source. They're then also able to go in, again, write their own narrative, update videos, update or upload images, and so on and so forth. And then the other thing that they can do is they can write content for the site that actually helps drive traffic through the site to their actual individual locations, and then directly to their actual web page, or wherever it is they want people to be directed to capture their information. So it's almost like open source is almost like its own little social media ecosystem as an alternative to, not an alternative, it's not an alternative, it's never going to replace Facebook or LinkedIn, but in essence, it's for a very dedicated community, a very focused community, where you're not mixing up and you're not really going anywhere else. Everyone who comes here is only interested in workplace productivity, employee experience, and who are going to be really interested on co-working and understanding co-working providers. So again, they set up their own webpage or server provider account on open source. I then move all their locations to that individual membership. Then they have full access to all those locations. So what I'm going to be doing and offering is anyone who signs up for a co-working provider, if they're not already on open source, then they can add them. And if they are, then I'm going to transfer all those locations to them for them to manage. And then the only thing we'll do is we'll work out over the next 6 to 12 months. Okay, so how do we manage and how do we understand how traffic is being pushed to you? So almost open source workplace, the co-working sites become the lead generation for them, but here solely to help them, but also provide a better service to people like me who actually goes out and wants to find real estate. And actually it's a really good way that allows me to assess, review, and understand the various co-working locations in the city and the zip code, wherever, because I don't actually there's no way to sort open source workplace content by a provider. It's always by city, state, country, and zip code. So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you are, how much money you're paying in advertising. When you come to open source workplace, it's going to be based on rates, reviews, feedback, and also where your geography shows you and puts you. So I'm really excited by the uptick in how Google is really ranking open source workplace for the co-working, and super excited that a coworker, one, get in and put it in themselves, and I'm hoping that they get great results, but then two, being able to work with an established organization like Serendipity Labs and what they're doing. And sort of we've been discussing content strategies on different ways that we can actually bring content to open source workplace. So I almost think about it, you can do video, walk around video, shoot it on, put it on YouTube, put it on open source. And all of a sudden, whenever people start video, Googling that, they're going to get the YouTube video, number one, because no one's ever going to be YouTube video and Google, but maybe we get one and two, which is really, that's really powerful marketing for all these organizations. So I'm super excited by where this is going and actually the opportunity. So again, I just wanted to take the opportunity in this little conversation between you and I to sort of help co-working providers really see the benefit and the opportunity, and also the spirit with which open source is actually providing this product. And hopefully other providers will join up, so my team don't have to spend so much time actually trying to put all their information together and put it up, And then also what we do is then obviously we take that content, we share it on Pinterest, we share it on Instagram, and we try to drive as much traffic as we can back to open source to then push the traffic directly back to the actual co-working provider itself. So hopefully this whole ecosystem that builds over the next 12 months will drive and generate a lot of value for these co-working providers. Well,
that's amazing. That's quick feedback that you don't usually see from Google and from co-working providers. Amazing. I actually did not expect anything like that to happen so soon. We were just talking a few months back, and you kept drilling it. Oh, 6 to 8 months. We'll see what it's like in a year. Who knows? And then this happens, and it's got to be such a great feeling for you. Maybe a reassurance, or just, hey, you're doing something good. I mean, it's right there in the name, open sourced. You're there for the end user. You want everyone to have a great experience, whether it be someone looking for a, oh my goodness, that was a Harley. Sorry about that. Hey, we're doing it live. Having a great experience for the service providers and also the co-working locations, and giving them the power, not saying, oh, well, we're in control of your places and you need to work with us, and we're the person behind the computer. Just giving them the power and saying, hey, manage it, because you're going to know if something changes at your location.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
And honestly, it's a great testament to Ray, the my developer, who's listed an open source workplace, RP Access. And, he told me all the while through, he says, don't worry about SEO. I've got you covered with this. And he has other projects that are kind of similar to what I'm trying to create. And he just says, don't worry, we got this down, and starting to see the fruits of it. But as I said, it's still early. It's not like we're getting hundreds of thousands of views every month, but we're still climbing 12,500 page views. 2 months in isn't too shabby. So I'm pleased, and probably about 60 to 70% of that is coming from search. So people are coming, finding the content, finding the locations, and then coming to open source. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that.
It's so quick. The response has been great. As time goes on, it's only going to grow, and it's a resource, and it's going to help so much. I've talked about it in other videos where if I go into a co-working site and I have a very, very negative experience, what I wouldn't give to have avoided that in the first place. And you're offering hey, it's right here. Give us feedback, or look ahead of time and save yourself all the pain of a wasted day or a wasted week. Heaven forbid I book a hotel, pay for that, and that's my site for the next week while I'm working from whatever location. Saves so much time, headaches, money. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Thank you. As someone who works independently and on the go, that's my thanks. But I want to know, for us, for any sort of co-working provider, how do they use open source workplace? Is there something they should know? Is there a sign up feature that you really want to let them know about?
It's a great question. So it's free to sign up. So basically, you click sign up, and you'll get a little pop up. It goes, "Are you a service provider?" Just click yes, because as a co-working provider, you are a service provider. And then there is a form that seems a little long, complicated, but it's not really. There is some basic information there that's required: username, password, etc. The longer information in the other text box, you can come back and complete that later. But in essence, it allows other people to see you and understand who you are. That's a free membership. And then obviously, if people want to set up for a premium membership, I think it's like $25 a month. And that allows sort of people directly connect with you via a messaging service, click through to your website from there, and so on and so forth. But you can be a free member. You can then add all your co-working locations, and you can still manage it on a free basis. So yeah, it's a free offering.
That's outstanding, because usually for you to have created something and then say, hey, here, take it, it's yours, I'm giving it to you. Usually there's fine print. Usually there's only if you do X, Y, or Z. But no, it's completely free. So we work, any sort of co-work provider, they hop on your website and you're just going to open arms.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Because in essence, the spirit of open source is it's open sourced. Yeah, we'll figure out what happens in the long run. But the spirit of it all is I want to give the best experience for anybody who wants to, maximize workplace productivity, employee experience. And I want to provide everybody with the tools in one place that they are able to come and collect that and use that. So yeah, so it's super exciting. Really, really exciting times. I'm loving it.
That is amazing. Well, again, Thanks. I'm going to be using it soon. I've got some vacations I've thought of. I know I'm traveling out to New York, your backyard. I don't know if I'll be using a co-working location there, but I know I'm going to be doing business while on the go. But that's really great. And the fact that it's free is just yet another testament to open sourced for the end user.
Yep. Yep. Great.
So that's amazing news that I did not expect to hear. Is anything else going on? I mean, it's hard to top that.
There's plenty more, but I think that we'll save that for another day. But yeah, we'll definitely put a link below for the co-working, so anybody can go check it out and see what's there. And I just attest to anybody to sort of go in, put a zip code where you know a co-working location is, and see how it pops up. There are features that I really want to improve on the actual user experience. But this is like the first iteration, and it will improve in time. But again, I just, pick a city, pick a zip code, have a look, and just click on one, and then just have a look at the other options that it provides you. So, you select your one, and then it gives you 5 other options that you may or may not have heard of. There are so many unbelievable co-working options available that I'd never heard of. And, the team's working really well and diligently to actually provide those. And I honestly, I can go and look at one, and the next thing click and just keep clicking and just seeing the variety of options that is available to everybody. It's so good.
Well, it's all about getting the best experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Well, sounds like that's it for us this week. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put it in the comment section below here on YouTube. If you're curious more about those locations, we're going to put a link in the description. And other than that, like, share, subscribe, send us out, broadcast us on your social media platforms, and we'll stay in touch. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.